Kwanza na furaha nitaimba na kucheza, washa mishumaa, weka keki juu ya meza, oh ila usinicheke, nimekuletea zawadi kidogo lichobarikiwa, akimwana mkwete aje na dumu la maji nasije kakumwagia, anakapicha kako nitakapost, poso kupenda itawakost, leo siku yako nishajikoki, tuko rafiki zako tunasema happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Sinyagi pombe leo ntalewa, niwape shombe walochelewa, zikinipanda monde nitapepewa, pembe la ng'ombe au malewa, ila usifoge kusema asante baba na mama, walokupoza ukakuwa, nakupa na keki kwa wema, kulinde baba Maulana, tukuombea na dua, anakapicha kako nitakapost, poso kupenda itawakost, leo siku yako nishajikoki, tuko rafiki zako tunasema happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
Wagwan, Grand Rising. Good afternoon from the 254. 26 minutes past the top of the hour. And we want to take this moment to wish Mr. Blackout Fire happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy turning, literally. And we wish you the beautiful, amazing year as you turn a year older. And yes, you deserve the best. I don't think personally I need to say much. I've said so much, but yes, happy birthday to Mr. Blackout Fire, Keith Newsome. Thank you so much for creating this platform for us, where you've created nothing but just unity, and of course a platform full of information and connecting us literally globally. We do appreciate that, and for everything that you do for us right here, we do appreciate you so much. So yes, happy birthday. That is Harmonize playing right here on the middle of the 21st century, one of the favorite jams that you'll always find in every birthday season being actually played. Karibuni sana once again. It's exactly 27 minutes past the top of the hour. My name is Joby. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Your week so far is great. Mine is fantastic. I can't complain. Today I got my Russian hat. It was super cold today. Oh my god, in the morning it was super crazy. I'm actually surprised that it's actually a little bit warm right now, and I don't have my sweater on, but it was so cold in the morning. But I hope you guys are having a beautiful weather on your end, and whatever the time is, I hope you're having a great time this amazing morning, rather afternoon, evening from our end. Yes, Karibuni, as today we talk about what Africans must stand for, and I'd say this is actually a video. Well, I've taken this topic from a video that I bumped into earlier yesterday, and this African lady was talking about how we have so many black celebrities, black representatives who don't do anything. And yesterday I was talking about the resources in Africa, and we discussed about the wars, and we saw how these wars, of course, they're no coincidence. They're all funded, very well orchestrated, very well planned. Why? Because of the African resources. That is the thing. There's nothing else that actually is maintaining these wars in Africa. It's because of the resources. That's why we've been having our people being displaced, our lands being torn apart, and literally a lot of exploitation from the people and the countries themselves. So today we're going to be talking, as we expand on that, rather that conversation, because she talks about how these celebrities don't talk about countries like Congo, Sudan, what is happening in Africa majorly, and questioning what will you ever stand for. It goes back to say what Keith says, what would you die for? What are you willing to die for? So yes, today we're going to be discussing about that. But first and foremost, our conversation shall be starting with Kenya. We're going to be looking at how, of course, the government of Ruto is currently trying to fix the problem they themselves actually started, because this is the issue of insecurity in this country. We saw yesterday actually one of the police officers, or one of the head police officers in Mombasa County, did give a very amazing speech that so many people have been waiting to hear, because the matters of insecurity in our country has really become a very big issue. I think it was on Saturday. Yeah, it was on Saturday when I was just in the house. And mind you, where I stay, before I hear any sound of voice, it's always like very, very rare. Even when there's shootings, tear gas here, sometimes when I'm in my house, it's very rare to hear them, literally very rare, unless they're literally just maybe across the police station directly, then I can hear them. But on Saturday at night, I heard a woman screaming, and I was really worried to, like, literally, I was really worried, because personally, the time I get out of here, that was the first thing that clicked my head. I'm like, dang, because it was around, I think, 9, 10, 11-ish, and it's a safe road. According to me, it's such a safe road. So I don't know what was the scream about. I didn't hear the stories next day, so I don't think it was anything serious. But at the same time, when you hear a woman screaming, of course, that is very, very alarming and alerting for me as a lady. So matters of insecurity is not even about where I stay. Matters of insecurity have really risen in our country, and yes, Kenyans have been asking, demanding actions from the police officers, from the government itself to do something. But it's crazy, because the people we've been asking, they're the same people orchestrating and allowing these matters of insecurity to actually rise in the country. So we're going to be discussing about that as we look at how now Ruto is willing to actually tackle the situation. We're going to be talking about the hunger crisis in Uganda. This actually goes back. I'm going to share a video. If you guys can remember, we had the Minister of Food in Uganda who said it's only a fool who's going to be dying of hunger. And because Ugandans are so lazy, they're supposed to be farming. There's a lot of matoke, So he said that Ugandans to be complaining about food crisis, it's upon themselves, because there's a lot when you talk about food in Uganda. But it's so crazy to see that now we have not only just Uganda, but also Africa at large. Now it has been termed as a world hunger spot. It's crazy. A continent full of resources, a continent with 65% arable land, a continent really fertile, with so much fertile soil, literally. And we have all the organic seeds. Before they damage them, we still have organic seeds. We have organic fertilizers. It's crazy to see that today Africa has become one of the most targeted continent when it comes to actually, and we know Ibrahim Traore blankly told you this is nothing to do with he blankly told you this is nothing to do with aid. They're not here to help you, they're here to kill you. But we're gonna also continue, of course, with that more of the conversation, looking at also South Africa, how they have turned to the World Bank for infrastructure development. Yes, of course, this is the time, because other countries are withdrawing. So you losing economically, you're gonna have to turn to the World Bank. It's so crazy. And of course, last but not least, we're gonna be discussing also about West African leaders approving Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline to actually start working. We're gonna see what type of exploitation is this, because bet Nigeria is not going to benefit. Maybe Morocco, but Nigeria, as always, they're not going to benefit. But yes, karibuni sana, those are our top conversation. We're gonna take a short break, as of course we show you some of the amazing goodies we have on our app. And of course, in case you're here for the first time, karibu sana. My name is Joby once again, and this is Black Hot Fire Network Media of the 21st century, bringing you news and updates from Africa, across Africa, of course, also about the people of Africa, the culture, music, politics, everything in between, and it comes with the truth. We cover also other shows, of course, in America, including the Black diaspora, the diaspora people's lives, and looking at how the economy is also affecting us globally. So much much literally bring you nothing but the truth. So ensure you download the app. We are up and available on the Google Play Store. In case you're using an Android phone, in case you're using an iPhone or an iPad or a laptop, you can join us or stream with us using our website link www.blackoutfirenetwork.com. And once you have the app, you can explore. We have, of course, through the app, a radio segment where you can listen to us actually via the radio anytime, any day, so long as you are connected to the internet. Just plug in your earphones or headphones or whatever you like using, and you'll be able to listen to us and also the shows back to back. This is not the only show airing. We have different shows always coming from 8 to 10 p.m., latest 11 p.m. Depends also maybe on the time and the schedules and all that. But also we have organic supplements that can boost your health in different ways. So in case you've been looking for organic supplements and you've been finding it super hard to get them maybe on the stores, we do have them. We have multivitamins, we have ashwagandha, we have beetroot, we have vitamins, proteins, and also skincare products. But for this show, I love sharing Brain and Focus because it does amazing magic for you to help you critically think, especially on these conversations.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Today's conversation, we're going to start with what is happening in Kenya. And this is Ruto. Of course, again, like I've explained, there's been matters of insecurity in our country, and this has become a very big problem. Literally taking you back on time, in 2024, we had goons who were hired. You know, the youth, of course, went to the street, tribeless, leaderless. As Kenyans came together, went to the street, and they were demonstrating against the cost of living, the hiked up taxes and all that, and which we saw because of this peaceful demonstration, and which of course politicians hate, because the stronger we are, the united we are, the weaker they become. You know, the more we are united, the weaker they become. And of course, Ruto understood the tactic very well of what Kenyans were doing, and he hired goons in 2024 demonstration and started even blaming, now the peaceful demonstrators about demolishing places, so that of course it can look like the demonstrations were not about what Kenyans understood they were doing. So this issue of goons has become a problem, of course, in the 254. We've seen the cases of rape. After these goons are hired to go distract certain gatherings of certain opposition leaders, it ends up now in rape. It ends up in now people having so much being stolen from them, as others are minding their business, maybe coming from work. It has become now a country like South Africa. That is what Ruto is trying to do here. Is really going to destroy our country. And if we don't, shout out to someone who said Ruto is a wild animal and a very bad one that is thirsty for blood. And if he's not hunted in all corners, Kenyans are going to suffer. And especially if we allow this man to come back into power, come 2027, we're going to suffer. So I'm going to share this as I analyze my points on this particular one. But yes, another episode of Keeping with Kenya Kwanza.
Previously on Keeping Up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
Having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped.
There is an African...
The same person talking about goons and all that is the same person whose people are actually the ones paying goons to come and destroy gatherings. Again, take you back 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had one of the goon organizers, one of the leaders of the goon organizers, who was being used by politicians every single time. 3 weeks ago, he was killed by the same politicians because he had gathered a group of people to come again, pretend through the media that for real, the UDA party, which is Ruto's party, has support from Kenyans. Yet we know clearly this is one of the most hated regime currently in this country, has been the most hated regime in this country. So the same person organizing this or allowing his people to organize this is now talking about the issue of goons should be stopped. Let's listen again.
Previously, on Keeping Up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
Having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped.
There is an African proverb that says when a hyena wants to eat its own children, it first accuses them of smelling like goats.
Imagine. Oh my God, that is such a good proverb. When a hyena wants to eat its own children because it's angry, it first accuses them of smelling like goat. Wow. That's a good one.
Today, Kenya watched that same old trick play out in real time, as the very government accused of arming the goons suddenly declared war on them.
I have been following the debate. You know, we had the demonstrations, democratic, constitutional, legal. But we also have criminals and thugs and characters who destroy people's property, steal from people, burn down buildings. And you know, we are unable to make a decision. You know, you find people who've come to town, they destroy, burn down shops, destroyed people's property. And, you know, the conversation is, please, you know, these are our children. You know, these are our children, so we must listen to them, which is okay. You know, yes, must listen to them. To continue, some people arrested.
The same person talking about listening to our children, we must listen to them. This is the same person who was telling parents how they have not educated their kids, how this generation has been raised with lack of morals. When the youth who are in, of course, who are the majority of this country, make up the majority of this country, when the youths went to the street to demonstrate and they were demanding change, answers, and action of the things that were promised, this idiot stood up on the same mic. Now, listen, this is what I was saying. This is exactly what I was saying this week on Monday. When these people touch the mic, when Ibrahim touches the mic, now you know who is a leader, who isn't. For real, for real. We don't even need to be told. You can't, even a blind man, a deaf man can see and hear. I don't care. They can. They can. When these people touch a mic, and when Ibrahim Traore touches a mic, you can clearly tell who is a leader and who is a goddamn puppet. This is what exactly I was saying. And I'm always like, who the hell gives these people microphones to talk? Why are you being given the microphone to talk? It should be off. It should be off. You thinking you're talking to people, but it's not. You know, it should be off. Somebody should switch off the wire or something. It should be off. These people talk nonsense every single time. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is the same person who said this generation has been raised without being caned or being told how to talk to elders. Talk to elders? Excuse me. You better, if you think you're old enough, take yourself to the grave. 6 feet under. If you really want to respect that much, you can't respect the people
who have employed you actually, because these people think they are actually our bosses. We are their bosses. You're supposed to be answering to us, not white people. You're supposed to be telling us why you're not doing the work you promised you're going to deliver. I was reading an article today and I didn't even bother want to cue it because it's the same, again, copy and paste patterns of these politicians, always promising people many things, but they never do. A good example, this man said, because when I was reading the article, the good example was, he's going to reduce the price of ugali flour. My God. Oh my God. You guys, I went to buy ugali flour on Friday when I was doing my shopping, trying to refill some things in the house. Oh my God. I was really shocked, for real. Have you ever gone to shopping? You have a normal budget of what you're not supposed to pass for shopping. But this what happened on Friday. There are things I take, like, and especially in different, there's type of sizes I take of certain things, right? When it comes to cooking oil, for some, we were even discussing that yesterday with Shumani. How much do we spend? She's talked about how much she spends for a monthly budget or maybe a 2-week budget. Excuse me, and I said mine too, right? So if I want cooking oil that can sustain me for a whole month, I'll take 3 liters. 3 liters is quite big enough for me for a whole month. Because sometimes I may decide I'm going to cook fries, things that are going to consume a lot of oil, deep fry a chicken, or, just do some stuff. This time, you guys, I was supposed to take a 2 liter cooking oil. Why? Because number one, the budget I always have for my shopping, not only did it exceed, but apart from exceeding, I was forced to actually take minimal stuff from the norm of what I take, because the prices are really skyrocketing crazy. So 4 weeks ago, the last time I bought ugali flour before this Friday, this past Friday, right? The last time I bought ugali flour, it was and depends also with because for us, we have different we have, of course, different companies. You guys know when you go to a mall or a shopping, you're going to have different brands of a certain product. So personally, I have specific brands I use of certain things. For me, cooking oil, I don't change cooking oil. I don't fuck with the cholesterol like that, because I know these people have tampered with our oil as well, as much as it's, the processing, all that. There are oils that have too much cholesterol. There are cooking oils that have less cholesterol. So I'd rather stick to one rather than mixing, because for me, it gives me also like, I just feel like my heart or my whatever, it's dirty, we say in Swahili, kuchafuka roho. So I was really forced to minimalize my stuff this time. The last time I bought ugali flour, and this time when I bought ugali flour, it had gone high by 20 Kenyan shillings. 20 Kenyan shillings. 20 Kenyan shillings. I have a lot of tomatoes when I go to the market. Trust me. I still go to the tomatoes. I'm sorry. It's always a big deal to me still. 20 Kenyan shillings. I have 5 tomatoes. 5. Yeah, I know. 5 tomatoes when I go to the grocery market itself. If I buy on a local shop, maybe when I'm going home, I have 3 tomatoes with 20 Kenyan shillings. So this time, I was even forced to take ugali flour that I don't use. I had to take something cheaper, because this man's promise and what is happening today is very different. He promised us he's going to reduce the cost of fuel. See what happened during all this fuel crisis? Okay, he promised us he's going to reduce the cost of sugar and ugali flour. This has actually even doubled or tripled. We were making jokes yesterday of how much 1,000 bob Kenyan shillings, that is $8. Take me back 16 years, literally 16 years back. $8, you guys, for shopping. You was the OG. You are an OG for doing an $8 shopping, because $8 you could buy sugar. That is 2 kg of sugar, literally, because it was, I'd say, 100 and something. You could buy ugali flour. Ugali flour was less than 100 bob. Today, ugali flour is 200 bob. So you can imagine that, literally, by me using even the Kenyan currency, you can just tell the difference of the gap. Imagine 16 years back, right? Ugali flour was less than 100 bob. Today, the big ugali, that's the big ugali flour, because we have a big one and a small one. Today, it's 200. 16 years ago, the small ugali flour was less than, and if it went most, actually it was less than 50 Kenyan shillings. Today, the small ugali flour is 100 Kenyan shillings. And again, understand these things you're also buying, it depends with what brand you're buying. So the cheaper, the trashier. That is just the truth. The cheaper of what you're getting, the trashier it is. You're eating probably some GMO bullshit because you can't afford the real ugali flour, the real, the grade 1 ugali flour. So you have to take some really raggedy, old, expired, some, you don't even know if it's expired, because these people also lie to us about some expired and unexpired stuff. But for me, I can tell an expired ugali flour because it's always bitter. It's like, it's so bitter. Like, it's so bitter. You can't eat that shit. It's so bitter. So I can tell expired ugali flour personally. But yes, this is the man talking about when Kenyans were demanding answers on how the cost of living can be reduced taxes on this and this and this. So he's the one talking about, oh, we listen, we hear them, we listen. Man, these leaders, these people, these politicians, man, I can't wait for next year. This year is going so fast. I can't wait for next year's election somehow, because I want to see what this country is going to become. I fear for my country. I really do. Deeply, I am concerned as a Kenyan. I am very concerned. Very concerned. Because yesterday we were talking about mensch money. When you look at, because sometimes as for us, our M-Pesa apps, they allow us to see how much we have spent in a month. And she was talking about sometimes when you check this expenditure, maybe that you've done in 3 months, it's not even matching your salary even in 3 months. Trust me. It's crazy. The expenditure is not even matching your salary. It's not, because things have gone super. And it's not even Kenya. This is now, I have to be also, of course, this is not even Kenya. This is globally. Now imagine me complaining and I'm in Africa, a continent full of so much that should be actually very easy for me to access and cheap. I imagine you guys in America. That's what I was asking. Let me ask you, Jibajaba, since you're in the chat. How much do you spend on actually daily? Daily. How much do you spend on a daily? Because for me, I was saying for me on a daily, I spend 800 bob. 800 bob, that is probably $6. Yeah, $6. That is $6. I spend 800 bob on a day. And mind you, I still have food. There's transport, 200 bob, back and forth, coming to work and going back. There's what else? There's lunch. I'm just from eating lunch before I came here. I spent 200 bob because of what I was eating. And there's supper. There's dinner. Where sometimes there are things which I don't like storing in the fridge, like liver. I don't like my liver frozen. I like me fresh liver. So sometimes I'll have to go back to the butchery now and then. I don't like my fish on the fridge personally. I don't like that. So I'll go buy fresh fried fish. So how much Jibajaba do you spend on a daily? Like, what's your normal budget? And maybe if it surpasses by how much, I want to actually hear that out, because Ruto, because Kenyans are complaining. Kenyans are wondering how we've gotten to this point of spending $8 a day. $8 a day? Are you kidding me? Weekly on food, it's 100 and 160 weekly. So is this with you having shopping, like you have shopping of the normal things you want, let's say corn flour, cornbread flour, or whatever? Is this with you having shopping, or maybe some things you need to grab here and there? Because for me, with 800 is me with shopping. Still with shopping. That means $6, yeah. That is still me with shopping. That is still me with shopping. It's crazy.
You know, with criminality, taken to court, they're given a bond of 200 shillings. They live there, you know, because they're our children. And then they go on. They now go to political rallies. And then we have goons. And then I don't know whether we want to say again, these are our children.
Wow.
Just hours ago, President Ruto ordered a nationwide crackdown on political goons, those shadowy men who have been trailing politicians from rally to rally.
The goons. So, you know, we really need to have a candid conversation about criminality, the rule of law, security of our nation. It cannot be the case. There cannot be any defense for criminality. There cannot be any defense for breaking the law. I am very happy that the last time there was an attempt for criminality in town and we stopped it, you know, many Kenyans agreed that no, it's now time for us to say no to people who want to ban our property. And that is going to be the future. It's now clear that everybody, every sector of our society, the business leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, have all agreed that having lawlessness, goons and all these other characters, criminals, should be stopped. Now that we have a consensus, our security agencies must do their job.
So, the security agency that you still control, the security agency that you tell what to do, how to shoot people on the leg, the security agency which doesn't know how to control their mouth, they're always talking like some uneducated, irrelevant, a base-ass type of leader, literally. So these are the people oh my God, these are the people you're telling us they should actually deal with the matters of insecurity. People you have employed. You know, if you really cared about this country, shout out to Ibrahim Traore again. These people are leading by example. Countries that so far have had real coups or real revolution, because that's what it is, they are leading by example. Number one, you should fire the current cabinet secretary of internal security who does nothing. Okay? That's if you really mean business. If you really mean you care for Kenyans and the security of this country, fire Murkomen. We want Murkomen gone. How many times have Kenyans raised concerns about you appointing people who are not eligible for these positions? They don't fit in this position. How many times have Kenyans raised concerns about the people you keep on reshuffling in this government? If you really care about this country so much, and if you are a Pan-Africanist, since so many people were loving you in the beginning, oh my God, Ruto should become the president of this continent. What? Are you kidding me? Unless you don't have history. Like someone quoted today, a quote I saw today, Ruto is a wild animal. Today as we talk, our marketing manager has just posted on our story what is happening in our county, Isiolo County. There's a lot of shooting going on right now. Why? Because of abduction cases that are rising in that county. Why are there abductions in Isiolo? Because this is the same county where people were being killed. Remember last year, they were being killed to leave their lands for carbon emission. For carbon emission. These people said they are not being paid anything, and if being paid 200 Kenyan shillings for them to leave their lands so that the Arabs and the other people can come and carbon emit. Huh? So that's a coincidence. People are just being abducted. Oh, we don't know what's happening in Isiolo. They're shooting. Who has told the police officers to go shoot peaceful demonstrators, telling the government we need the matters of abductions to be checked on? Oh, okay. And that's why I'm telling you, you're not dealing with an illiterate generation. The generation of today wants answers. Today we woke up to news and updates of one of the guy who died in the police station last year. Why? After he criticized again the same security or internal security. The man was arrested and he died under unknown circumstances in the name of suicide, since now globally Black people are just killing themselves. Huh? We're just that tired with life. We're just killing ourselves. Suicide. There's a CCTV footage which was tampered with, and now the footage is out and shows clearly what really happened. And we're telling you, Ruto, you are going home. You are going home. We're tired. We are tired. I am tired as a Kenyan. I hate the fact, personally, I have to go to places. Sometimes you want to take something, but you can't because the prices. Hey, are you going to buy this or are you going to think about tomorrow? You know? Man, no.
The law, they must do their job and they must stop criminality.
You do your job. Fire these people.
You know, that
you're a criminal, of course you can't fire your fellow criminals. How will you survive?
That is how we are going to secure Kenya's future.
At almost the same moment, Coast Region Police Commander Ali Nuno doubled down. He declared that both the goons and the politicians who sponsor them would be pursued, even if it meant withdrawing state security officers attached to those politicians.
Waheshimiwa, tunawaheshimu. You are the leaders. We are ready to work with you. Lakini tafadhali issue ya usalama usiweke siasa.
Exactly. So this man yesterday came out, and this is why Ruto now released that speech, because Kenyans are tired. This man, and shout out to the Mombasa people for being brilliant enough also, and for being bold enough to talk. As I can tell, this is a Maasai guy. I don't need to be told these are Maasai, but tribalism aside or anything. But he came out and said yesterday, we will not allow politicians to have a police escort, yet they have an escort of goons. Okay? What we're going to do is withdraw police officers from any political gathering, because this is what is promoting goonism in this country. And shout out to him. The police officers themselves, if they're getting tired, I bet maybe we're headed towards revolution, you guys. If the police officers are getting tired of them being used to transport goons and protect goons, this tells you this matter has gotten out of control even beyond the police officers themselves. So thinking about it, I think there's a documentary I was watching some time back. I don't know when, but way back. And the documentary, I think I shared it with you guys and I gave my analysis. I'm not really sure, but what I actually and have understood about the continent of Africa and through these puppets. Yes, have your moment. Right now you can steal, you have money, you can steal, you can pay. They are really illiterate, brainwashed people who cannot critically think and understanding what we've been fed. Shout to Ibrahim Traore, how our brains are being damaged beyond thinking. Makes sense. But have your moment. You continue having your moment. But there's gonna come a time. There's a documentary I was watching and it really gave me hope somehow about Africa. And it keeps giving me hope every time I talk about these issues of terrorism or young people being used to target their fellow people in a country. It's going to get to a point, I don't know which country, I think it's happening in a certain country. I have to go look back that information correctly and tell you guys. But this is what happened. And I can't remember it was from which government. I can't remember. Sadly, I can't remember. But it was a system created, the same thing we can see, of goons, police officers standing against their citizens and all that. And then it came to a point, I think it's something based on one of the country's history. It came to a point where the goons or the police officers got tired of protecting the same people because they're also being oppressed. The goons became tired because it's the same cycle of you being paid breadcrumbs, and these people go back and drive their Range Rovers, their Bentleys, their whatever, take choppers, private planes, as you are in poverty. So it got to a point where people were tired, and they, including the police officers, they turned against that system, that regime, that government that was leading the country by that time. I don't know, but I have to check that history. And that sometimes, every time I'm getting frustrated about all these issues, it snaps. I'm like, remember there's a country where people got tired of being used by the government, and instead they turned against the government itself, where revolution occurred. So I'm here to look at that history. I don't know, but I have to look it up. And if that was not the case, it was the prediction of what would happen in African countries. Because I watched the documentary like quite a long time ago, you know, because sometimes I bump into documentaries that are really interesting just from the title, and I'll go with it. I'll listen. Even in my house, I'll go with it. I'll just listen. I'll take my time to listen. So yes, that is, I feel like, where Kenya probably we're headed. The police officers is going to get to a point where they're going to be tired of being used to kill innocent people who are also fighting for them, because these people are also being exposed. These people are living in poverty. You're talking about Kibera? Oh my God. The police officers are living in poverty. Poverty. And I'm not even lying. Personally, I grew up around a police station, being honest, and there was one of the police officers, and I said it even some time back, who killed one of the kids. And then last year or 2 years, I saw him here in Rongai. I saw him here in this county, Kajiado County. And I was like, are you kidding me? This guy was not fired. He was just transferred. You know? But long story short, where he was living, it was really like, oh my God, it was so bad. It was really a bad place. Because the apartment we were staying, we could see people in the ghetto, or from the ghetto, how they are living, how they fight, wake up every morning, they're just fighting and all that. It was just super crazy, you know? So that police officer had like 2 wives. So I don't know where the other wife was, but where he was living with this other wife, it was a really trashy ass place. So it's gonna get to a point where people are gonna be tired.
Hiyo tuachie sisi, tutapambana naye. Kwa sababu usalama ndio kizingi ya uchumi.
Kenya, yeah.
Ya investment,
exactly.
Ya our livelihood, maisha yetu. So ukianza ukileta siasa kwa mambo ya usalama, tafadhali utakuwa unapoteza. And we'll be taking this country down there, the docks.
Yeah, this is going to become South Africa if we're not careful.
We are not.
Sadly, because it's going to become South Africa now, where there's going to be mass shootings. Understand, these goons, they're not just goons moving by stealing your handbag and your phone. Now, I've talked about rape. These men who are being hired by the government to destroy or distract certain gatherings, they're raping women, you guys. They're raping women. That's what I'm saying. Personally, I've also, after I had the screams I had on Saturday, I can't walk on my road past certain time. I can't walk. I have to get a bike. By all means, I have to get a bike. Because yeah, I'm courageous and all that. I can fight, but I can't fight 2 men. That's for sure. I can probably fight 1. I can hit your balls very hard and leave you there you know, dying by yourself. Shit. Hey. Because understand personal, I've also, like, you know, I've been a victim who escaped rape at a very young age. One of my uncles used to come home drunk, very, very drunk. And that day I was the target. And somehow the God in me, or the angels who are protecting me, told me, use your brain. Hit where it hurts most. And I didn't know that hurts the most. Yeah. I hit them. I hit it. Like, I really, yeah. He was left, and you can't scream. Of course he couldn't scream, because you scream, you set yourself up. Shit. You scream. Yeah, I'll tell, yeah. You did that to me. You are trying to take me on your bed. So I think from my childhood, maybe survival skills, I always still say I can apply them. And even now, being bigger, and I know I have this fighting in me. Shit, don't try me. Please don't try me. There's a day even I was going home, and then there was this guy who came and touched me inappropriately, and I really don't like that shit. So I passed, and then he's like, hey, I'm saying hi to you, and you're talking to me? Are you talking to me? You're talking to me? Also, you think it's just okay for you to go grabbing girls' hands randomly and threatening them because they didn't say hi to you? Now, let me show you what I can do. I'm going to scream a thief on you, and bet you you're going to be beaten to death. You'll be beaten to death because I'm known here. Do I know you? I don't know who knows you here. But trust me, I'll make it count. Don't play with me. And that man was so scared. He was so scared, which actually said that, for me, thinking about it, I'm like, man, I feel like women, we have so many privileges where we can just use any type of defense mechanism because we're women and the community is going to stand up by us. But I'm like, damn, we also are very easy prey. Like, we're being preyed on. So, like, please, get off my face. Get off my hand. Don't touch me, you know? So yes, and I'm trying to think about now this guy and him being a Maasai community. I live in a Maasai community region or county. Maasai people value security a lot. I always say, if there's a tribe that still values culture to the deepest level of Africa, for me, remains the Maasai community, being honest. Maasai communities, these are people who still depend on herbal medicine. These are people who are very great in farming. When you talk about hundreds of herds of cattle or sheep or goats, these people have it, and in wealth. It's not like counting. These people are wealthy. They are wealthy of cattle, sheep, goats. Like, these people are wealthy, but mostly it's always cows. And you can ask around or do your research and see. The Maasai community are the people who still value culture so much. So him addressing the matters of security and in being part of the police, yes, this country is becoming South Africa. We're going to be having mass shootings because the goons have guns. The rape cases, like I'm telling you. We've been having cases of so many young children being abducted, raped, and killed. And then we have the audacity of a certain woman rep in a certain county advising men. Imagine, this weekend we had a county woman rep, one of the women rep in Kisumu County, saying that men should rape but not kill. Imagine. Rape but don't kill. What do you mean rape but don't kill? So you're telling men, you're giving men the go ahead. It's okay for them to rape, and so long as they don't kill, that's okay. They can walk away with anything. And you question why the matters of insecurities are rising? Because instead of you promoting men to become fighters, how to defend this nation, you're telling them to become pedophiles. Pedophiles. Are you kidding me? You're telling us to normalize pedophilia. Hi. Oh my God. Man, trust me, maybe if I become a president, man, oh my. No. Now I'm gonna be hated. I'll be Idi Amin for real. I'll be Idi Amin. Idi Amin. At least Ibrahim Traore is loved. Man, I'll be brutal with it. For real. And on this, especially these puppets, all of you are going to jail. All of you. And as a matter of action, man, you're getting tortured too. There's so many things I would introduce to just see these people suffer the same way they've made millions of lives and generations to suffer. I swear. If I want to become a politician, someone asked me last week if I'm aspiring to become a politician. Hell no. Unless this system is not the system we have, then fine, I would actually. Because I keep confirming every day, I can actually easily become a politician. For me, I can if I wanted, being honest. I have so much, again, because for people to vote for you or accept you to lead them, it has to come from also a certain type of respect. I don't know if it really makes sense. I have so much, man, I get so much respect out here. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to me. I'm not going to lie. And growing up in a family that was so disrespectful and then coming out to the world where now on this side of the world, the people love and respect me, it really amazes me. It really phases me. I love how I can walk. I was telling Even Shmani yesterday, I love how I can walk, and sometimes I'm going to be getting free boda lifts because I know most of the boda people. You know, I love how I can be walking and I'll ask for help and it will be given to me without me tipping anyone. I love how I'd walk on these streets and everyone wants to say hi to me, even despite me not ever talking to them or never even giving them my attention, but they'll still come. Hi, madam. They call me madam. Hi, madam. Like, hi. Respectfully. So yes, I can become a politician, but not in this system. I'll be killed. I'll be eliminated. You know, they'll kill me. I'll be found in Rivayala. Just by what I'm doing, I know it's already a trigger to this system. Now imagine you being a politician. Because me, I'm not a nonsense tolerator. Trust me, I'm not. There are things I can tolerate, but there are things I can't tolerate. And if it's a matter of where people depend on you, you have to be punctual. You have to be punctual. I've learned so much personally by just being a manager. And I try fathom it even from that, you know. I'm like, politics cannot work for me, not in this system. It just can't. It cannot. Because me, I'll not talk. I'll be Idi Amin. Indians out, Chinese, all the contracts that you had signed with whatever, they stop now with immediate effect. Any mining contracts, any contracts made, they should, like we saw yesterday, Gabon signing contracts till 2031 for mining with France. Are you kidding me? Giving people access of your resources just like that, just like that. They're not giving you an exchange of, hey, we're gonna create maybe industries for you or this processing manufacturing companies or this and this. Nothing. No, you just give me your shit and you'll be left with no shit. You give me your shit, which is worth billions. I'll make money off it and I'll need you to come beg me for me to give you your shit. And you're not just, you're begging but also buying. I get tired. Now, I'm not speaking bad things about myself, John Mosquito. I'm just being honest. It's not even speaking. No. Man, I know. I understand the power of the mouth. I'm not even speaking. No. I'm just being honest. It's not like it's nothing I've ever aspired to be, being honest. But based on understanding the voice I have personally, how strong I've become, and again, my voice is a tool. It's just, It's something that can change so much, and I've understood that. I don't know. I believe I can just change so much. That's all I believe. I just believe that. I believe I have the power, the capability to do so, but I don't have any desire, not with this system, not with this one. If we have an Ibrahim Traore, I would. As a matter of fact, personally, I think about it on how I can present to women, being honest, and specifically, if possible, children for me. It's crazy. Children for me. More of kids for me. As much as it's not something I don't desire having kids right now, there's still just something very special in my heart when it comes to kids. I've always wanted, so I always say personally, if I'm to become wealthy enough, I'd love to actually have a children's home. And do you know what my children's home would do? My children's home, I'd go collect most of the kids on the streets in town, and those who are willing to be helped. Because trust me, the streets, what I've understood about the streets or the children in the streets, they become so street hood or hood street or street hooded, I don't know which one is it, to the point where it's so hard for you to actually relieve them from that. They're so used to that. They want to be that. They want to be there. I've seen that. There's a story I was watching today, and this lady got help. She accepted to move away from the street. She has a kid, and she now has a job. And she's like, man, I'm so grateful for the people who have helped me. Now I just want to stay focused. I'm just looking at my future. Now, if you find a group of street kids who have that type of mentality, you can mentor them, educate them, and make them understand what is happening in the world, and real education, not this bullshit of education that we're learning. Real education, real African education. Teach them the truth so they can grow up with knowledge, determination, ambitions, and aspirations of maybe wanting change. I don't know if it makes sense. Yeah, like an orphanage. That is something that has always been so. I've never even said it, but it's something that I think about it. So for me, even when we went for the children's home last year, man, it really made me so happy, because it's something that personally, and the first time I saw a street kid, first time ever, when I was with my mom, and my mom told me, you can't help everyone. But for me, even to date, even when I go to town, even here in Rongai, we have them. I bump into so many street kids here when I'm going to get my fries. There's somewhere I get fries, and they come to me, they're like, hi, sister, can you buy me something to eat? Or can you give me money? For me, it's wrong to give them money, because some of them also know drugs. They might be going to buy drugs. So for me, what I do is I offer them food. I'm not going to give you money. I'll buy you food. What do you want to eat? I'll buy them chapati. I'll buy them maybe fries. That's what I do. So I look at them with so much pity. I'm like, man. So yeah. It's I don't want to do that in a system of Ruto. I'll have to be corrupt, sadly. If I have to do that, I'll have to be one of the corrupt people. I'll have to be corrupt. I'll have to be a crook, because I call them crooks. I'll have to be a crook. I don't want to be a crook. I don't want to do that.
Ready to see Kenya going down to the docks. Therefore, we will deal with any politician who is likely to hire goons. We are going to withdraw his security, na hatutacheka na hawa. Kama anaona akae na waoni, kama security ajipange, basi aturudishie wale security yetu. Sisi pia tunahitaji our numbers, tunahitaji hawa officers wa kazi. Akae na hiyo magunzi yake akitaka, lakini security tunachukua. So they have hard decisions to make. Either wakae na hiyo security, na wawachane mambo ya hooligans. Kama sio hivyo, wakae na hawa, tupambane na hawa, tukutane kwa kiwanja. I'm appealing to them, please do your politics with principles and maturity. Do your politics based on ideas.
They are children. They'll never be mature. Thank you. They'll never. That's why he's still immature. Yeah, do your politics with maturity. They are children. They're not mature.
They are not individuals. Do your politics on development and not chaos. Kenya too.
Regional police boss have triggered one question across the country. Is this the start of a genuine cleanup or an attempt to cut ties with a problem that critics say has been tolerated for years? Honestly, Goonism did not arrive on a mysterious boat from international waters.
Exactly, no coincidence. Oh, this is a coincidence. Oh, our children. He has the audacity of even saying our children. Our children. You better call your children your children. Don't put me in the basket of your goddamn children. I'm nothing like you, Ruto. Nothing close to you, and neither are majority of us Kenyans. Nothing close to you. We're not murderers like you. We're not thieves like you. We've not gone under trials and came back and became leaders like you. We've not done that. Hell no. Our children. This idiot said the same children were, you've not raised your kids well. Oh my God. I'm waiting for next year. Man, if only time could be fast forwarded. I wanna reach next year's election somehow so bad. But at the same time, I'm so scared for this country because so many people are gonna lose their lives. Watch and see. So many people are gonna, oh my God, this is going to be the worst election in Kenya. Watch and see. And I hope I'm wrong. At some point, I really hope I'm so wrong. But I'm not. I am not. Because you can't be doing this, creating this type of system in a country which you expect it to work. It won't work. It will never work.
It was pampered and armed by politicians in the country. In Kisii, we saw them. In Kisumu, we watched them.
Exactly.
And most recently in Olkalau, unmarked vehicles carried hooded men through election streets, and the whole drama ended up on CCTV and in the ICC conversation.
Exactly, to the point where a journalist was even shot. Imagine.
But do you see the country going the ICC way? At least,
surely we are going the ICC way, and Akina Douglas Kaja, you'll have a date with ICC. Let William Ruto give you instructions in writing. Let him not instruct you on phone. You remember General Muhammad Ali went to the ICC because of letting the country go to. And I could tell this goon thing was just a preparation to build capacity for interfering with next year's general election. And that is why William Ruto put Kipchumba Murkomen there.
Exactly. Thank you. Murkomen. Because if Ruto really does care about security, that man should be fired. If you see someone is not capable of a certain position, what do you do? If you see someone is really trying to take your company or something that you've built or trying to build down the sewer, what do you do? Are you going to watch yourself drain into the sewer after everything you've worked so hard for? Or are you going to actually get rid of this thing that is trying to make you go on a sewer line? You get rid of it. But no, they don't get rid of. This is why we have Museveni. I'm going to switch very quickly just away from Kenya because I'm waiting for next year. And shout out to Kenyans. Kenyans are saying it. We're waiting for next year. Kenyans are telling each other and encouraging each other, save your energy. Please, currently, right now, save your energy. Stop going for demonstration. Stop appearing in these political gatherings. Just stop. Let's wait for next year. The election. We already know this. People know. Kenyans now are smart and understand. They have been saying it. We know our two previous the IEBC chair people or the chairperson who are standing for elections, they were killed in the name of mistresses. They had a mistress. So a mistress took a thumb that has access to the electronic whatever access. The mistress. What has a mistress has to do with the election? Because what they did is say this was, he had a mistress. He was seen going to a certain hotel with a mistress. So the mistress what? How did you win this election? Next year, that is what Kenyans are waiting to see. So we're saying we save our, and I'm going to, actually, I've been told, yes, the voters card are still being taken. I'm going to take my voters card this weekend. If not this, no, next weekend. Next weekend I'm busy. This weekend, this weekend. Next weekend I'm gonna be busy. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna do it this weekend. I'm gonna take my voters card. I've been told it's still actually very much active and they're still doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take it. Because Ruto must go. If I participate and this man becomes a president, I have a problem too. I have the right to be angry because so many people have been on my case and it actually kind of makes sense. I don't really give a shit about this all, we need a revolution. This voting is not gonna work. But at the same time, what we know in Kenya is the majority don't want Ruto coming back. So if this man comes back as a president, which we can see him paying the data analysis people to say that he is the leading presidential candidate in this country. He is paying people to put this fake narrative propagandas to say that he is the leading presidential candidate. Since where? When? Kenyans don't like you. You're the most hated president. The most disliked. So next year, people are saying, if you win these elections, you will tell us where you got the votes from. You will tell us. Keep on buying, forging IDs for people. Do all that. But understand we're the majority that make up this country. You can buy thousands of Somalians, but they won't make up the majority of this country. That's another thing, and that's just the truth. He can buy as many people he wants from Somali, give them IDs to become Kenyans for that period of election, but they will not match the number. They can't even amount to the number of the majority of this country. Unless you take the whole Somali, you bring it here, then cool. Which we already know majority actually are always here. So what the hell? Majority are always here. These people have been living in Kenya for the longest time. It's crazy, man. If the people really give me a headache, they're these puppets. These puppets give me a goddamn headache. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. They really give me a headache. It's crazy. But speaking of more headaches, in Uganda, we have a launch of emergency food aid for drought hit. Do you remember Ibrahim Traore's speech? Ibrahim Traore said very well, they use aid as a way to still depop us, right? I've just mentioned of the brain damage of the things we're taking. I talked about it also yesterday. But in Uganda, in a place called Karamoja, there is drought. It has been hit by drought and they need food. So apparently, when you look at Karamoja and the history, because I was looking at the history of Karamoja has been experiencing hunger crisis for the longest time. What has the Ugandan government done to provide food security for these people of Karamoja because it's in their country? Oh, nothing. Nothing. So let's take a look at Karamoja just a few minutes as we understand what's happening right here. So based on the details is that Uganda has launched an emergency food relief operation for the drought-stricken Karamoja region where prolonged dry conditions have triggered widespread crop failure and worsening hunger crisis. The government says more than 313,000 households across 9 districts will receive maize flour and beans as part of 9.4 million kilogram relief packages. This is the same maize flour, and like I've told you, I've explained to you guys about the maize flour, which personally I've said I have specifications when it comes to my shopping. I use one brand. I'd rather have one brand damaging my brain if it's literally, if it's already damaged, rather than use multiple brands, not understanding how much of a chemical or whatever they have put in those brands. I use one brand of everything. Everything. Sanitary towels, cooking oil, sugar. I explained about the sugar, the collapse of our sugar company in Kenya, which I still don't trust it because there is a change. There's so much difference when you look at our sugar, Mumia Sugar, and also Cabras, which we saw is still owned by an India who was trying to buy the company, right? Or get the market access in Kenya. Sugar, I use one brand. Baking flour, I use one brand. If it's noodles, I eat one brand. And I'm not a lover of noodles, but I like having noodles in my shopping because there's some people who might come to my house, or even personally, I'll wake up and I'm craving noodles and I'll eat noodles, but I'm not a fan of noodles. Everything I use one brand. Soap, bathing soap, I use one brand. The last time I changed my bathing soap actually was last year. And because I found something very nice than the one I was using. And I've maintained that since last year. It's almost now, I think I've clocked a year since I started using it. And it's so good to me. What else? I use one brand of everything, man. I don't, even gas. I use one brand of gas, cooking gas. Everything I use is, I don't hop here from there to there to there to there. So when you talk about the maize flour, what is being mentioned here, and the fact it's being donated from we don't know who, and the beans, these are GMO foods because we're trusting people who don't even do farming to help us. If this was coming from an African country, like when we saw Kenya delivering food aid to Somali, that is okay for me, which was also a big problem because it didn't make sense why Kenya is going to help Somali. Now we can see why, because the borders were opened and there's so much going on right now. Yet we had people in the northern parts of Kenya who are facing hunger crisis, the same way we can see in Karamoja. But let's look at the Karamoja situation just for a few seconds.
In Uganda's northeast, the people of Karamoja continue to battle conditions far harsher than anywhere else in the country. Uganda Bureau of Statistics figures show that more.
I miss this type of houses, being honest. I really miss this. I miss my great grandma's village. I miss my great grandma's village. Shout out to her. She passed away in 2021 when she was 100 and something years old. Oh my God, I miss these houses are so cool. You guys have no idea.
More than 7 in 10 people here live below the poverty line, the highest poverty rate nationwide.
This is not poverty. For me, I'll not still consider this poverty, being honest. These houses, most of them, how they're constructed, you'll be lied by the outside structure, but inside they're so very well furnished. My God, now that I'm gonna be driving, oh my gosh. Now that I'm gonna be driving, actually I'm gonna make these things happen. So, which I have to take maybe one of my cousins who knows there. I'm gonna go to that place and show you guys that. And I hope the internet works too. Shit. Because it's the village. Shit. That's the village of the villages. But yeah, now that I'm driving, actually, I think I can go to those places. Because it's an hour, 2 hours most drive. Because okay, from Nairobi to my uncle where my brother stays and schools is an hour 30 minutes. Maybe, depends if there's traffic, 2 hours. Most. And then from now, my uncle's place to my great grandma's place is also like an hour drive because they're like it's a hilly road, very hilly road. Yeah, but the last time I was there, they had put tarmac, but there's a lot of like, you pass a lot of hills, I know, kid. It's just so fun. It's exciting. Yeah, so I'm gonna show you guys that I'll go there. Because I've not been there since before my mom passed away, being honest. I've not been to my great grandma's place since before my mom passed away. Imagine. Yeah, but these houses, don't be fooled. This is why people come here and say this is poverty. Oh, we live in huts and mud huts. Bruh, these are the most coolest houses. I'm not gonna cap to you. These are the real ACs of nature. The real nature AC. You don't need no AC. You don't need no heater because there's all the clay soil plays a role during the day when it's hot, and there's how the grass, which is on the top, how it plays a role during the night to create warmth. And the furnishing, it's crazy. You guys, I grew up in a modern house. As much as we had a black and white TV, still it was a modern house.
Struggle is intensifying.
We had toilet and bathroom inside. We had a store in the house. We had 4 bedrooms. It was 3 bedrooms, I remember. 3 bedrooms, a big sitting room, a big dining room, a big kitchen, and then at the back we had a borehole, and then we had also a clean water tank. We had we had the shamba boy. Shamba boy is those guys who take care of the cows and go take care of the cows, the goats, the sheep during the day. Take care of the garden. They ensure the garden is clean, the compound is clean. So we had a Shamba boy's house, which was also like an outside kitchen. Now during the day we cook outside using the outside kitchen, using the firewood. And then we had an outside toilet for guests who are coming during the day, so they don't use our inside toilet, and bathroom as well, outside bathroom. We had a chicken house. We also had a goats, sheep house, and we had a cow. I remember all that. Then we had a cow house as well. And our compound was so big that I was being punished every morning to sweep before going to school.
And by recurring droughts, poor market access, and a harsh climate that
when I peed on my mattress, they were punishing me.
wipes out crops and livestock.
Life is hard. There is nothing much that has changed.
No, that's not the bishop. Okay, so let me be specific. That is not the bishop. My dad's side, I've always said my mom's side is more wealthy than my dad's side, being honest. My mom comes from a very wealthy family in terms of assets, generally, not like in terms of assets. When you talk about land, there's massive of lands from my mom's side. They're like the whole generation of family of my mom's side. They're so blessed. I've grown up in like wealth. I'd say the African wealth for me, generational African wealth from my mom's side. My dad's side, no. Sadly, no. My dad's side, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about my dad's side. Yeah, just you see my smile. I'm just smiling because I don't know what to say about my dad's side. It's just there. It's there. They don't have that much of generational wealth. Yeah. They don't. They don't.
Because even access to food is hard. To send our children to school, we have to work hard. You have to do a lot of manual labor.
Food insecurity remains severe. The 2024 Integrated Food Security Phase Classification Report shows that nearly half of Karamoja's population faced acute hunger, with tens of thousands surviving on emergency levels of assistance.
I'm appealing to government to help us. This house is where I live.
So it's crazy. And this is how I understand Africans were all the same people. You people, Africans always being told we're different. Imagine this is in Uganda, but this lady looks like a Maasai. If I'm not talking Ugandan, I'd say this is a Maasai. She looks like a Maasai. Because these are our Maasai community dress up. They always extract some of their teeth. I don't know, it's part of their culture. They have big holes on their ears. I don't know for what, but yeah, we never know all of that. But yeah, we're all the same people.
Live with my children. Life is squeezing us. Even accessing health is difficult.
Children suffer the most. Stunting and wasting rates here are the...
So this comes, remember, now I take you back. Let me take you back. Because again, we say the internet never forgets. People may forget, but the internet never forgets. Remember this guy? This was the Ugandan government minister, I think of food security. Excuse me. And this was in 2022, where more than 2,200 people died of starvation and related illness in northern East Uganda. a report that was given by the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Okay, but in 2024, when now, of course, this issue of hunger crisis was rising, this idiot, remember this idiot, what he said? This is what he said.
Idiot.
It's only idiots. Let me actually start it again.
It's only an idiot, a real idiot, that can die of hunger in Uganda. And we having.
Oh, it's only an idiot and only idiots who can die of hunger in Uganda. So copy and paste and use that term also the same way when it comes to African puppets and the speeches they make. Because you'll never hear Ibrahim Traore saying this bullshit. Ever, 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 ever. Ibrahim Traore is a man who is trying to bring solutions, find solutions, create solutions for the people, not blaming them for something we know where there is actually a main effect or a root cause to all this. I love saying and I love defending Africans, especially today. If famine is a big factor or a big problem, I've understood. We go back to history. We've been affected by colonialism. Our lands were stripped away from us. So were our ways of farming, which was stopped in many different ways because of lack of support from the government as well. We've seen how local farmers have died, how their businesses have stopped booming or blooming. So there's someone to blame. Again, go back to colonialism. The white people invading us and taking a big percentage of many people's lands. This affected many Africans still to date. And this is why we can see many African countries, because now, based on the new confirmation of information, is that Africa is now a world's hunger spot, according to the UN. Since when? It makes me wonder every time I talk about this. And understand tomorrow we do have conversations about farming and all that. Yes, we've seen African farmers blooming, making money, millions, but how many? The percentage is what we need to talk about too. What percentage of farmers are we talking about in every African country or in every region of Africa? How many people can be able to do this? Because go back to last week's program of Thursday, Farm with Joby. We're talking about this guy who was an alcoholic, an addict of alcohol. And then he went to rehab. And after him being okay, he came back now to farming. But he explained very well, this land is an ancestral land. Today in Africa, just like I've explained from my dad's side and my mom's side, yes, my mom comes from a generational wealth and in terms of assets. But did she get access of this? Because my grandfather, the father to my mother, has huge, I've said huge land of coffee farming, like huge. If you talk about, I can't even explain how huge, but it was that big. Because I could disappear, sometimes get lost in that land. And I love being on the farm personally. When I was young, I loved stealing fruits. I loved, just for some reason. I don't know. I was a thief of fruit. I don't know. And that's I think why I don't like fruits today. That's my karma, you know. I really loved fruits so much. I was a thief of fruits. I'll steal mangoes. I'll still eat imagine eating a whole watermelon. That's why I don't like watermelon. And I was smart enough to know cows eat this cover watermelon, then I throw it to the cows and the goats. So nobody's gonna find any evidence. What? Somebody stole that shit in the farm. It's not me. Shit. You know, you go find the thief. I'm not the thief, but I know deep well it's me. And of course, being a kid. But did my mom get access of this generational wealth from my grandfather? No. Actually, to make it very simple, I explained last week, my uncle, who I'm very so close to and has been there for us since my mom passed away, he was forced, because normally in Africa, if the firstborn is a male, or even the lastborn, I explained this last week, the inheritance of land goes always to the male gender, not the female gender. It's very rare. That's why I'm saying there's even an episode I'm watching of South Africa, which is of that conversation. I think they're trying to bring light and education to that actually women can also inherit resources from their parents or their husbands, right? In Africa, only men can inherit their father's lands. So my uncle, being the firstborn in a family of where there are 3 men and 2 women, my mom had 3 brothers and 1 sister. There were 5. My uncle never got to get a share of his dad's land. But now looking at my dad's side, okay, just to make you guys understand what I'm explaining. Looking at my dad's side, my dad has a piece of land for him. I don't know why he doesn't use it, doesn't prioritize it. None of my business. But he has a space in my grandfather's land that is on my dad's side. On my mom's side, my uncle could not get this because my grandfather got married to another lady when my grandmother, the mother to my mom, died. Okay, are we together from there? And in Africa, there's always just issues with stepmoms. Stepmoms feel entitled, they'll kick the children out. So long story short, my grandfather died on a road accident. He was a driver. He died on a road accident, and my mom and the siblings, the rest of his siblings, were kicked out of the land. So fast forward, now they're grown. My uncle was forced to buy a land somewhere else, but within the same region. But he bought a land, I'd say 30 minutes away from my grandfather's, his father's land. But originally, he is the one who's supposed to have or inherit this land. But him, I think, working so hard and smart, he saved money, bought land, actually a very quite big land, and now he does the farming himself. So in Africa, when you talk about farming, there are so many people who cannot access this or cannot practically do this, grow up with the knowledge of farming, understanding seasons. You can do this. This is the season of maize. This is the season of beans. This is the season of avocado. This is the season of mango. This is the season of pineapple. All of the seasons, right? Because we don't have that ancestral land. White people are still in control of majority of this land till to date, where we can see many generations like the Mau Mau. Our last Mau Mau freedom fighter just died a few months ago in Kenya. So imagine, do you think actually the generation left of these Mau Mau freedom fighters, they're going to get land compensation, yet the Mau Mau freedom fighters who are left alive still were never compensated for anything? Of course not. Which now goes back to, we've seen, of course, our colonial systems are still in control of majority of our lands, like tea, coffee, cotton, whatever. Lands that has been affecting generations till to date. How do you expect me, if I'm born, let's say in Kibera, all I know is sewages, flying toilets, hand to mouth, lack of access of what is it called? Access of healthcare or medication and all that, school. But I can go to church and pray without saying I can go to church. Huh? How do you expect me to know anything about farming? Of course, when an NGO comes on my door and they're offering maize flour as much as it's going to kill me and beans, I'm going to accept it because my government itself has not provided that. My government has not fought to ensure I go back and practice farming in an ancestral land that was stolen away from me. So yeah, call us idiots, but there's a problem.
People dying of hunger. And those are idiots because there is enough food in Uganda. If you work hard, there's land in Uganda. The climate is right in spite of climate change. If you make a double effort to make sure that you go out in the morning, you tilt your land, you plant the seeds, you maintain your plantation, surely you cannot go. Surely, okay? How do you fail then to get food?
A lot of things are happening in Uganda within a very short time, and people are just confused. What is really the problem? This is exactly what we call a chaotic system. A system where you don't understand where the problem is coming from. There is famine in Karamoja. People are dying because they don't have what to eat in Karamoja. The From one side, accidents are everywhere. On the other side, you see abductions going on every day. Basement. You see a lot of issues. And you ask yourself, where is really the problem? I believe people in Uganda are just disturbed. Even these drivers who are driving and they're getting accident, I'm very sure their mental health is not stable. That is exactly what happens when the system is broken. Because the most important thing for any government is attention. Where is the attention of government right now?
It's
The attention of
it's in media control. That's the attention of Uganda government where it is, how they can control information. Because you told them, you saw that was 3 weeks ago, they talked about media control. Media should not be having freedom of speech. They should not express themselves. That was General Muhoozi, the Captain Crunch of Uganda. And the president, who is the father, came and actually approved what the son said, because they don't want to be criticized. How dare you criticize someone who has been in power for over 40 years? You dare call me the big daddy nigger syndrome? You call me out. It's crazy. Again, let me remind you, the crisis of Uganda. Let me remind you.
What you're seeing here is a mosquito burger, or kunga, as the locals call it. Each burger contains around 500,000 mosquitoes, and apparently it has 7 times the nutritional value of a regular beef burger. Here's how it works. During the rainy season, swarms of flies and mosquitoes gather around Lake Victoria, which sits between Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. The concentration is so dense that there can be up to 1,800 mosquitoes per cubic meter. To control the plague and make use of a sustainable source of nutrition, considering that nearly 60% of a mosquito's body is protein, they started capturing them in bulk, mashing them together into burger patties, frying them in oil, and eating them. According to explorer David Livingstone, who made one of the...
Just so disgusting. So disgusting. And you're being told it's only an idiot who suffers of hunger, yet people are eating mosquitoes. Huh? Are you kidding me?
The first historical records of these burgers in 1865, they taste somewhat like caviar. I don't know.
I kind of thought about them like you. Yeah, it looks like some caviar shit.
Would you try them?
This right here, that's a whole bowl of mosquitoes, straight from Lake Victoria. We're pressing them into a patty. Look at that. Straight protein. Crispy, smoky, a little salty. Man, that's good. Way more protein than...
Yes, this is the video that went viral, actually, when I knew about mosquito burgers.
What you're seeing here is a mosquito burger.
Disgusting. But this is a country of people who are telling you it's only idiots who will die of hunger. Yeah. But as we wind up with today's conversation, we have South Africa, which has signed $1.5 billion under the World Bank, and of course getting a loan for infrastructure and development. South Africa is really going through it, so they had to turn to their white daddies to help them, because there are no people, nobody's bringing money in the country, so a loan can help save a country, right? Let's see.
South Africa has secured a $1.5 billion World Bank loan to support reforms aimed at modernizing its infrastructure and creating hundreds of thousands of jobs. It will help the country confront chronic challenges in electricity supply, freight transport, and water and sanitation services that have long constrained economic growth. The International Bank for Reconstruction and Development loan is the fourth in a series of standalone development policy loans to South Africa since 2022. It comes as the government intensifies efforts to remove key infrastructure bottlenecks, improve service delivery, and stimulate investment across critical sectors of the economy. The National Treasury says the loan offers a favorable interest rate and flexible repayment terms.
There's never a favorable interest rate. That's a lie. We know that's a lie. There's nothing like favorable interest rate ever, ever, ever. It's a goddamn lie. But that's where we come to the end of today's conversation. That has been my time with you guys. And I've enjoyed every bit of it, and I hope so have you, because I have. Yeah. And I hope for those who are going to be catching this on a replay, you also do get to enjoy. Let us know what you think about the matters of security in our country, because I feel personally, if Ruto was serious, he'd start by firing those people. If you mean business, you should stand on business. Fire those people. Very simple. Let's say you put someone who's serious about security. I'll give props to one of our most corrupt and aspiring presidential candidates right now. But when he was actually a cabinet secretary of internal security, he did a good job. But also not a good job because so many people's body were being retrieved in River Yala, which I talked about. That is Fred Matiang'i, who is still cannot give us answers what was happening during that time. Yet he was the internal cabinet secretary of security. And today is an aspiring president. And I said, think about it now if he becomes a president. Think about it. These people are all the same. They're all, actually, I'm not even going to give him props. They're all the same. But I'd say at that time, in terms of security and education, you could fuck around, find out. For real. That was how he was ruling. But fuck around, find out also you have been abducted, which you can see happening till to date. But yeah, there was no cases of theft. So many tags were put on the right direction. Yeah, like so many people were killed who were involved in crimes. He tried to tackle some things in a country that kept us online, I'd say. But that's what we could see. What we couldn't see, we saw the results after of bodies being retrieved. Till to date, we had a man whose body was discovered in a river recently, which actually, it's crazy. People are just dying, being found dead. You're there waiting for your loved one, thinking they're coming home. They're dead. It's crazy. But yeah, we come to the end of today's conversation there. Just to go through a few comments. Jabba Jabba says, when you are educated, when you are uneducated, media training can only take them so far. That's true. Says $8 here. That's a gallon of milk. What? And a dozen of eggs, unless you catch a weekly sale. What? Hey, please come to Africa. Do you know how much I buy milk? Okay, so since I realized personally milk, of course, is effective to me, I became lactose intolerant. I stopped buying the packed milk because this processed packed milk, just something else. It didn't make sense to me. I just stopped liking milk. So what I did, because I was craving tea, milk tea every time, sometimes, apart from, because I take black tea a lot, but sometimes I'm craving milk tea a lot. So I started going, there's an old lady who lives around my place. So she opens her shop very early in the morning to just sell milk, cow milk. She milks herself and sell it. And if I show you guys what I get and for how much, that's how I learned how to. That's how actually I started making cheese from that, because I started making cheese by buying the packet milks, and it was backfiring every time. And again, I'm spending a lot of money for this shit, and it always backfires. So like, I'm gonna go to this woman. Since I always get my milk there for tea, let me get the milk also there for cheese. And it worked. And it worked because it's fresh from the cow. You just have to boil it proper. That's the good thing about the cow milk. You just boil it, ensure you boil it proper. And when I take it, it has less reaction to me than the packed milk, being honest. It doesn't give me nausea. It doesn't give me gas. I'm good. Because like yesterday, I took milk. I was really, really okay. I took milk in the morning. The previous day, I'd taken milk in the morning. It's been working so well to me. Those are some church people. I hope you guys don't mind the sound. And then also see Jabba Jabba says, I can say weekly for, yeah, that's a lot. And says all sale items to stock up. We always stocking up for hard times. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. On average, our daily food consumption is about $30. That's still a lot. Shopping for food, oh my god, that's still a lot. $30 can take me a whole week, and it's a lot of a whole weekend. Yeah, for me, that's a whole week. $30 to be specific. because I'm buying breakfast every morning. I don't take the same breakfast, of course, every morning. Sometimes I'm taking bread, sometimes I'm taking chapati, sometimes I'm taking sweet potatoes. I love me sweet potatoes for breakfast. Sometimes I'm taking yams. It depends. Yeah. Sometimes I'm taking arrowroots. Depends. Like whatever. Yeah, and shout to John Mosquito again. Says a host always remember women and children are always the first point to attack when society breaks down. I do agree. And says you're stronger now and your cooking has improved. I appreciate the compliment. And Jabba says I donated to that orphanage because you were involved and I knew that get taken care of it. It was an amazing day. I did have fun personally. It was such an amazing day. And Jabba says this is a band-aid of optics and political points with the stupid. Exactly. And says yeah, we are brand and ingredient specific when shopping. Yep, that's me. I don't change ingredients. I don't change spices. I use one. I don't like that. I don't play that. I don't play like that. Jiba says a cool mom was the one. Good for her. The bishop married up. He's always marrying up, she. According to me. I mean, apart from his last wife, his current wife, he's always married up. Yeah, because hey, my mom was pretty. You got even my mom. Have you seen me? Yeah. When you see me, I'd say as much as I look kinda also like my dad. But yeah. When you see me, you see my mom. Most people say that, especially when I go home. When I go home at my uncle's, and the last time I was at my dad's, one of my mom's friends who knew my mom close, she was like, man, you look like your mother. Oh my God, you just ended up looking like your mother. And yeah, who was I supposed to look like? It's crazy. And so to be a tribe, I gotta get my teeth knocked out. Yeah, like you say, like the Sudan. Okay, not this tribe culture. There are some cultures and there are tribes with cultures. Yeah, a Maasai, there's how they pierce their ears. They're so big. Oh my God, they're like big holes. And then you remember there's that culture, so which the ones they put a plate, oh my God, that's so great. Oh, can you imagine that? And then the Maasai also wear like a lot of African jewelries, with these colors like I have on my braids, right? Like a lot of colorful necklaces. I have me Maasai necklaces. Yeah, I do have them. I bought in Tanzania. I don't wear them much because they have a specific attire that you have to wear it with. When you're dressing African, you have to dress them with them. Yeah. And then what else? Yeah, they remove their teeth. I think it's like an adolescence thing when you get at a certain age as a girl and as a man. Yeah. So it's not every tribe though. It's not every tribe that has those kind of cultures and traditions. Humans should not eat bugs. I know it's crazy, but that's what we have Bill Gates telling us. We need to be eating bugs. It's super crazy. But confidence on level 10, 100. Put him actually on 100. Shit. But yes, much love and happy birthday to Mr. Blackout Fire one more time. Today is Kate's birthday. So you guys take your time and wish him happy birthday for being an amazing boss, an amazing host as well, because before him being a boss, he's also a host, a brother, a dad, was a husband, currently not a husband, He's on the child. So shout out to Keith Newsom, Mr. Blackout Fire, for being an amazing person to us. He's done so many amazing things. Personally, I say my growth, and I wouldn't be here this bold if it was not for Blackout Fire and if not for Keith, because Keith brought me back to life when I was actually so dead. You guys would not really understand that. Like I was dead when I was coming to Blackout Fire. When Keith was telling me to smile, I always love going back to that because I've been relating to it lately in so many conversations, and we've been talking about trauma and all that. So I'm like, man, I was really coming from a very traumatic point in my life. I was really, really traumatized tired of people, tired of friends, tired of trusting people, you know, because we were even talking yesterday after the show, how he asked me if I could trust him when he told me to take off the mask. I'm like, no, I'm not trusting you. Shit, you know? So yeah, I'm so grateful personally because I've grown under Blackout Fire. You guys have built my confidence too, like to this level. Exactly. Level 100. Don't even put it 10, 100. You guys have built up back my confidence, made me understand who I am, you know. I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful to be on this platform. And if Keith didn't create this, I don't think I'd be here, you know. I don't think where my life was supposed to maybe end up, but the universe, the creator, has always good intentions, I believe, at the end of the day. Life might knock you left, right, and center, but one thing I've understood also in life, it gets better. It gets better. So happy birthday to Mr. Blackout Fire. Thank you for being an amazing human, for being an amazing black brother, amazing black boss, an amazing friend, because to me, you're not just a boss. I know you're listening. You're also my friend. Yeah, played a very big father figure in my life, literally for all those years. And I'm so grateful. And can't wait to celebrate more birthdays here in Kenya. You know, next time now it's gonna be this way, you guys. It's gonna be us plus him wishing him happy birthday as you guys watch us, because if you don't intend to come to Africa, you guys gonna just envy us from the screen. Yes, but I was telling Kid I can't wait for him to come. Like, you know, it's gonna be amazing. I picture it and I just see a lot of laughter. Kid is just he's always cracking jokes every time. So I see us laughing a lot, like just a lot. That's all I see. So I'm looking forward to all that and so much growth under this amazing network. So with that being said, have yourselves a beautiful morning, family. Have a beautiful day as you go to your black job. If you are on your black job already, I wish you a beautiful day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy everything you're doing, Manze. Enjoy everything you're doing. Because, yeah, who knows about this life? Today you're alive, tomorrow you're not. But it's not like we don't come back. But ensure you enjoy this one that you're living in to the fullest. Sometimes it's shitty, sometimes it's not. But enjoy it. I'll keep on encouraging you that whatever you're going through also, it's not permanent. It's just a temporary thing. You're gonna pass through it. Trust me. Good times are coming. So long as you believe it, good times are coming. Because look at me. You can't tell me shit and have a beautiful day. But yes, happy birthday to Keith. Then we're gonna wind up, of course, right there. Have yourself some beautiful, beautiful rest part of your morning. We should be coming back with Tubonge show, but apparently Shmani and our marketing manager are out, Christine. So I think I'll see you guys later in the evening at 8 p.m. Peace, and I'm out.